So all of these ideas, sound pretty like great, right? If we just had the police, work to hold accountable to the public, they maintain community reactions, they're working with our public. If we can build trust and confidence, things are great, right? But there's a few things that we have to keep in mind, right? Like each of these ideas, though, rely on the police having contact with people. And while that's good, right, maybe we want to see more police and have more positive pro-social contacts, right? Police civilian contact is pretty rare. So the primary like moving metric, right? When I mean that it's rare, right, is like, unless you've been stopped recently or stopped on the street or like a friendly conversation, right? I imagine most people, might see a police officer, right? They might see a car, but they don't actually interact with an officer, right? So you have this huge problem of, right, like the only way that you can like improve trust in police or have like this community policing is through some kind of contact or interaction, right? So without the contact, it's is extremely difficult to make this happen, right? Because if someone doesn't have that contact, if I'm not able to show my, procedural justness in an encounter of some kind, right? Like no one really cares, right? So you're not going to change anyone's ideas about what police are if that's not there, right? Maybe you get some rumors working for you, right? But like without that contact, it's pretty difficult. The other aspect too, right, is that not only do you have to have contact, right? But the other part is like many people don't like police. In the sense of like they don't like the police, they don't want to interact, they want to stay away even, right? Or maybe they're fearful of police, right? So what ends up happening, right, is that, the people who are going to benefit most from developing more trust, more confidence in police, right, are going to be those, who already are willing to speak to police, but not the people who probably need it most, right? Who probably need to, have like a better relationship with police and deserve it, or the people who've historically had poor relationships with police, right? So we were talking about like, black and brown people, right? So, because they have a tendency to stay away or maybe not want to talk to police or maybe it's seen as a danger or a threat, right? And so you can expect like, middling effects because the people who need it most stay away from everyone else. So it creates this problem then is that if the people who need it aren't willing to interact, right, then any kind of effort to improve legitimacy or have a community policing thing is going to be pretty weak, right? This is especially true, right? Like if you think about how, sometimes like, black people are socialized to have like the talk about like police and how, they're treated, more as like a threat. They're not necessarily on your side, right? And if that's ingrained at you in a young age, if you're being socialized for that, right, then you're probably unlikely going to seek out that kind of contact with police, right? And so it's really hard to build trust and confidence, right, if your only exposure is through like, your personal experiences, which maybe you've been mistreated by police, or you see it, the experiences of other people, like on media, right? So you have like, this vicarious experience or other people that you know. So, it's a difficult, right? Because even though this may be the ideal, is often difficult in practice. And so I say that you just be to keep something in mind, right? That if you want something to grow, if you want something to be better, you have to work and continue to change, and also realize that there's a lot of these shortcomings and setbacks along the way. Because that even if we have like these best ideas, a lot of them still need work.